In a world desperate to tear itself apart, only one man, and some other people, stand in the way of total destruction. Together they will right the wrongs, make bad, good, and single-handedly destroy evil, together. Who is this man, you may ask? This man is Geoff.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Geoff Jones and Friends Make It Better, the show that takes one of life's little annoyances, gives a microphone, a podcast, and a guest, and the unwavering ego to believe he can make just about everything better. I am absolutely delighted to be welcoming back for the second time comedian Stea. Stea, how are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
Yes, I am very, very good. Now, you joined me all the way back in season 1. And we spoke about small talk.
I think that was
Yeah, and I did that, and it's still to this day. So I love that episode, and I always think about when people just start nattering on about nothing. I always think, yeah, there's a reason I do this podcast. But we're going to talk something completely new today. But first, let's talk a little bit about you and your charge into the comedy world. How's it all going?
Hey, it's going well. I recently moved to London. We've spoke this out of podcast. It's a new adventure of trying to venture myself into the comedy scene in London and trying to understand what I can do, trying to be seen, trying to showcase myself.
Yeah. And it's very brave. I mean, so obviously you kind of originate from Portugal, and then you came over here and kind of hit the kind of Hampshire scene and the South Coast, and then another big leap to moving to London. I mean, you're a pretty brave guy, if you ask me. If you ask me, someone who's lived within a kind of 5 mile radius my whole life. I mean, hats off to you.
Yeah, thank you. It's like the choices were not easy. I had other alternatives, but London was the closest one in terms of change of moving. Was cheaper than for a while I thought about Newcastle, and
Oh wow!
changing all the way from Portsmouth to Newcastle was
Wow.
a big change and a lot of money. And I just thought, let's just move slowly. Let's see London first, and then
Yeah.
maybe go north and north, or just stay in London if I feel it's okay.
That's it. I mean, there's a big scene. I mean, yeah, London's hugely competitive in the comedy scene. So you're brave for taking that. But up north, I mean, kind of Liverpool, Manchester, Newcastle, places like that. There's just these massive comedy scenes now, and it's fantastic because obviously stand-up comedy's been around for forever, but it's really getting those kind of new nights and those kind of the open mics, but also those clubs now win to give more people a chance, whereas it used to be a real closed community. Do you find that in London, or have they been quite accepting?
Yeah, it's been quite accepted. I like also my comedy CV talks by itself, I think, and that also helps me open multiple doors. So yeah, some places they are not really interested in what I do, and that's fine. That's okay. But general speaking, everyone been very accepted, been happy to have me on board or the venues trying to play there, and I'm just happy to be everywhere trying to know as much people as I can, networking, all of that stuff.
Yeah, fantastic. I noticed you recently, or fairly recently, went back to Portugal and were doing gigs as well.
Yeah.
How was that being home and kind of showing off your skills back in the homeland?
It was one of my highlights so far of my career. Um, I truly enjoyed. Was interesting to like showcase what I've done here, and even like some stuff that I had to adapt to like do in Portuguese in Portugal, and that was quite interesting. Also, I had like my family finally understanding what I say, so that's fun too, because every time they would just say like, "Oh, it seems fun. It seems they are laughing, but we don't understand anything." And
Yeah.
then I gave them a chance to see, and they're like, "Okay, yeah, there is something funny in there. It's just different from what we are used to see. So it's an interesting.
Yeah. The family would always be the toughest critic, like, but in the nicest way as well. They'll say, yeah, it was, but I thought it was great, but they'll never give you too much, but always
But
supportive, I hope.
yeah, but I love that because like you always have this, especially in comedy, when you start to making or you start to getting a little bit of more famous and getting gigs that are important, like people just trying to like how do I say this without being arrogant, but like licking your ass, sort of like and I'm like I hate that. I prefer someone saying is like, oh, you can do this or you can do that, or
Yeah.
and so I prefer that honesty of just someone saying, oh, okay, this is weird for Portugal or something, but this kind of interesting is a new perspective, is a new way of doing comedy. So that's kind of nice.
Yeah. And people don't know that they're going to like something different until they hear something different.
Yeah.
Right? If all comedians went and just the same, how boring would that be? Yeah, I mean that would be so boring if everyone was just going out and doing the same thing. But well, look, I'm glad it's going well. I'm glad that
Also, like one of the best compliments I got, like doing Portugal and having Portuguese people start watching my stuff more often, was just like a lot of people saying, oh, I normally don't enjoy comedy, but like this type of comedy I enjoy. So that's for me is kind of a relief of like, oh, finally I'm bringing people that are bored of the same stuff, the
yeah,
same old stuff that everyone does, and they're like, oh, this one I enjoy. That's kind of nice, as I
yeah,
said before.
yeah. No, that's brilliant. Yeah, exactly what we're saying. That yeah, people think, oh, I don't like that actor, I don't like that comedian, I don't like that thing, or that genre of music or whatever it is, because all they've been fed is the same thing. And if you can bring something different to that and it resonates with them, then fantastic. No, I mean, hats off to you.
And it is also like in my understanding it's not just like me that gets the credits like other people, because if I bring people to watch comedy they suddenly realize about other comedians, other
Yeah,
styles that they might be interested in. It's like everyone is winning at this equation. So I'm happy to trying to help the comedy circuit, trying to help comedians in general, just like getting to their niche and just comedy in general,
yeah.
like everyone.
And long may it continue. Well, so where can people find you in English and Portuguese?
My main frame of work is just like YouTube is
Yeah,
my channel, so it's Stea Productions, and that's where I put all the stuff. The rest, like the rest of the social medias, is just like I post clips from what I post on YouTube, but the main framework and the things that I work normally is just for YouTube. So
fantastic. There we go. So Steer Productions. Everyone go and check it out. You will not be disappointed. But right, Steer, let's moving on. What is it that we are making better today?
abbreviations.
Thank goodness. And it's about time someone said it.
Yeah.
God, let rip. What is it? What is it that kind of most annoys you about it?
It's just like people have two jobs when they are basically abbreviating something. The first one is doing the abbreviation and then explaining to me the abbreviation. So it's
Yeah.
just simplify and go straight to the point, just write it. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I know I hate it when if you go somewhere, or maybe you've started a new job or you're in an environment, everyone knows the abbreviations and they assume that you know the abbreviations. I'm like, oh yeah, can you go and get the DFU and then if you could just get it signed off by MSD, and you're like, I don't know what that means, and then they have to go all the way over. Just oh well, it means this and it means that. Like, well, just say that.
Yeah.
Save us time. Yeah. What Okay, so is it just in a general sense of it, or what is it that really gets that's getting to you?
Yeah, it's just a general sense. It's just like a normal conversation, and people just suddenly are like abbreviating stuff. I'm like, why are you making short sometimes something that is already short? What are you trying to cut with the time? Where are you going like with these 50 seconds that you save? What are you doing? and I feel it's like sort of a treasure hunt that I didn't ask for. It's just like, what am I trying to get here? Why?
Yeah.
Like, it's
It's
sort of like I also feel that it's sort of I might offend someone that is into escape rooms. It's just like, why? Why would I go to escape room to then get out and celebrate? I'm already out. Why? Why am I going to escape room? No point. I don't want
I love
to
I love that analogy. Why why did I go to an escape room when I'm already outside of it? That's it. You're putting yourself in the jeopardy that you're trying to get out of, and you're paying for the. Do you know what you should
yeah.
do? Everyone should just lock themselves in their home, throw their keys, and then go and find it. Like
Yeah.
it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't know. I just don't feel a point in both of them. Uh, Also, like with emojis, because the emojis come in hand to hand with like the abbreviations. When someone just sends like an emoji or just emojis, I'm like, "Oh, I think we went through like history to realize that like the cavemen they spoke like that. We have words. Shakespeare did a great work, like all of that. Why getting back to the caveman scriptures? It's just no point. I
especially,
don't.
do you know, no, I get that because especially on phones these days, they're so clever. You write out a word and then it gives you an emoji. Well, you've already typed out the word, so just post the word. Don't then
Yeah.
hit the emoji because whose time is that save? I just have to now go into like this catchphrase, kind of say what you see. Okay, I've got to figure out what all of this means now. And on kind of with abbreviations, what I don't understand and the shortening of them is like the word okay, OKAY is 4 letters. It was then, shortened. I don't know if it means something else, but it was shortened to then just the letters O and K. Okay, that's fantastic. It was like that for a long time. Now people just put K, or even worse, KK. I don't understand. I don't, and it really, I don't understand why.
Yeah, yeah, I don't understand either. It's like I seen some of like my friends' message. They never do that with me because I was like, yeah, you're gonna have a double problem and just writing all the stuff. If not, I'm not gonna reply to you. But like I seen some of like my friends' messages, like we are talking and they show me the message. I'm like, he seems like code. He seems like you're writing in binary code. I'm like, I would prefer like binary code, at
Yeah.
least shows some sign of intelligence than this.
Do you know
Like
what?
uh, I had someone recently that we were like playing a game online and I just wrote like ones and zeros and ones and the guy just tried to figure out binary code. I'm like, I wish I was that smart to know what I meant by that, but I was just joking. But like I would prefer that over like abbreviation, random abbreviations. I'm like, at least
Yeah, I think you've already kind of hit the nail on the head. The people that talk in emojis are they're the escape room people, aren't they? Because they are creating puzzles where there's no puzzle that's needed.
yeah.
Like words exist, and there's a lot of words, and why the pictures have to count, and yeah, and same with abbreviations. Now, I understand that medical terms, a lot of
Mm.
medical and
Yeah.
scientific language, the words are unnecessarily long.
Yeah.
Whoever created them and made them unnecessarily long obviously wanted to have a bit of a laugh with people. So fine, I get it. You want to, you know,
Yeah.
shorten it down. But in everyday life, just and okay, even I kind of get with businesses.
I think I would say like with corporations and businesses, like science, that sort of stuff, like, okay, it's acceptable. I can understand this. Like you're just shortening because like even in a contract is like instead of saying these uh 3 or 4 words, I shorter to this and people understand. That's fine. That's
Yeah,
but like a normal day-to-day conversation is like, why?
yeah,
What what do you have important to do that you feel important to say this time?
right. And do you know what? This it kind of goes back. I mean, I was a born in the 80s, grew up in the 90s, and it kind of saw the development of it with things like I remember people writing out things like IDST, and it was, I don't know if this is stood the test of time, but people would write, when in school people would write their crush, and it would be like, oh, Jeff Hart,
Mm.
Miss Leggett, because I had a big crush on Miss Leggett in year 6, and then she got married and just completely broke my heart. But you'd write IDST, which is if destroyed, still true, right?
Mm.
Ah, that's a cute little thing. But then it kind of moves forward through time, and it's getting worse and worse. And BFF, best friends forever. It doesn't actually take that long to say. Oh, you're my
Yeah.
best friend forever. It's quite a nice term. Oh, you're my BFF. It sounds like I don't know, like discount meat or something. Like, do you know what I
Use
mean?
use BFF for the 50% discount on something
Yeah,
online. Yeah, I don't know. It's just
yeah,
weird.
that's it. And it just continues to where we are reverting back to caveman. Like currently, there's still words, but there's going to be a generation that not purely, but majority will just be talking in pictures. And then we've gone, like you said, this full
Yeah.
circle back to cavemen of just words
No,
are
they
unnecessary.
and yeah, the pictures they just taking that phrase literally of like one picture is worth more than 1,000 words. I'm like, no, it's not. Just just write the stuff that you mean.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to guess.
don't get me wrong. If the world descends into we only communicate in memes, okay, I could probably get down with that.
I, I
That
have uh, I have some conversations like that, but it's just like I don't call it conversation. I just call it like I see something funny and I send to people. I don't wouldn't say like, oh, this means something. No, it's just.
yeah,
But
but
that's acceptable. But just communicating was like, oh, I mean this by that. It's like, no, just talk, just
yeah.
ask, just
I mean, do you know what? Quite funny. This kind of does link back in with our first conversation about the small talk, where if I'm having an interaction with someone, I think we kind of covered this back then. If I'm having an interaction with someone, then I want to know the purpose, the context. Like, what if I have to guess too much about what you're thinking or saying? I will give up caring very quickly.
oh yeah, no, me too. I will start overthinking about everything, and suddenly the person is talking alone. So there
Yeah.
is no point. Just go straight to like if you want me to overthink, yeah, sure, fine. You'll keep me busy for a few hours. But if you want to have a conversation with me and I'm listening, yeah, just go direct to the point. Be
Yeah.
straightforward. I don't know.
I make a point with my children where I use their language, so I use their text language back to them to show them just how annoying it is. Just like K and lol, haha, whatever it is, just start throwing out the laughy face emoji. Oh, dad, you're so embarrassing. It's like, well, the way you communicate annoys me. What am I meant? What am I meant to do? Yeah, I mean, and that's that where's it go? What's the next thing? Because obviously, a lot of these things evolve with technology, and so we've kind of strayed away from um, the shortening of words and it got it into among things. But yeah, where does it
Yeah,
end?
I don't know. Like I have difficulties on when like people, especially nowadays, my generation and everything is just like, oh, just let's talk by message or something. Like, I prefer to go somewhere and talk or just do a call. Like, as all day is just like just having a call, talk, then like message it, get back and forth. I'm like, let's save time, just
Yeah,
do a call with 1 hour or something, and we talk about everything instead of like spending 2 or 3 hours back and forward about the same thing. And they're like, come on, let's just be
I
simple.
I do that quite a lot where I'm typing out just this epic message. And I'm thinking, no, do you know what? I'm going to delete that. I'm just going to call
Yeah.
because it makes. And then again, people are like, "Why are you calling me? Like this is unnatural." It's like no, because before text messaging, before
Yeah.
emailing, people used to pick up a phone. Now, don't get me wrong. I am quite happy to call someone. I hate answering the phone. Like if someone calls me,
I don't.
I'm like, why? I don't want to talk to people right now. I want to talk to people on my time.
I don't mind, and don't even mind the scammers. I have fun with it. So I spend time when they have scammers. I was like, oh, let's just have a few 5 minutes before they turn off. Just like I have fun talking to people,
What's your favorite
even when
type of scammer?
I love the insurance ones that they trying to get, like because someone died or something. I'm like, you're talking to someone, so how did I die? Or how how would I answer the phone if I had a car crash accident? How that works? And they just turn off the phone. I'm like, man, just be smart. Um,
So they're like, oh yeah, I'm contacting you about the accident you had. I didn't have an accident. Oh yeah, well there was the claim. No, there wasn't. I got told off by my wife because when we moved into our house and we
mm,
kind of got the home telephone set up when we used it for home telephone and not just internet. The number had obviously been recycled and it was on a list somewhere, so we got constantly barraged by scam
yeah,
callers or people looking for like the previous number holder or
yeah.
whoever it was. And once we'd had about five of these, and the phone goes again, and it's like a Sunday, and I'd had enough. And oh no, a Saturday, and I'd had enough, and I was like, "Hello," I'm like, "Oh, can I speak to Mister Whoever it is, please?" I'm like, "Look, this is really insensitive. This we're actually having their wake right now, and this is the third time someone's called." And they were like, "I'm sorry, I'm so sorry," and hung up. And my wife was horrified. She's like, "You how?" Because she doesn't like the whole putting the bad juju out there,
Yeah,
and well, if that person's still alive now, I was like, "Oh, it doesn't, it doesn't matter.
yeah,
Maybe it made these people think twice before just randomly calling people." But yeah, it's like, no,
yeah,
you've interrupted their wake now. What do you want to talk about? No, no, no. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, no, no. I've taken the time to answer the phone during the wake.
yeah. The last ones that I had, and that's a great thing about like phones nowadays, is like when I see it's a scam, I just block the number. But I just do all of that. The numbers that I don't know is just like, yeah, you're not gonna call me again. But I always wanted to like just know that is a scam. Sometimes it's not, and just like set up my camera and record myself talking to them in speakers. Just, but never happens. Like when they call, I'm always outside. I'm like, I don't have my camera with me, so it's shit.
No, no, I know. I mean, everyone's going to earn money somehow, I guess. But yeah, it's yeah. There's a special place in hell for the scam callers. But
Yeah.
it
Also,
it could be worse. They could be contacting you just using abbreviations and
yeah.
emojis.
Yeah, but I also get a lot of like going back to like messages, a lot of scams by messages, and I also have fun with that. That is just like I try to troll them as much as they are trolling me, and I'm like, you're gonna regret unblocking me. But that's my goal.
That's it, because if they get a sniff, they will keep trying just in case. And then at some point, they must think, oh, yeah, no, okay, they're taking a mick at me now. Like, no, thank you. What's okay
Yeah,
to get slightly back on track. So, like, I talk about abbreviations. I mean, I've actually set up so my YouTube channel, which is kind of a bit of a dumping ground for lots of things. I've put an umbrella of Big Words Media, which I've already started using. Um, BWM. I had to get that right then because for some reason it didn't quite compute in my head, and I didn't say BMW because I know it's brand awareness, right? And I know we said that's kind of okay, but also it doesn't take a lot of
mm,
time to say, yeah, it's Stea Productions. You're like, oh yeah, welcome to SP. I don't understand, what does SP mean? Like, and unless you are a DPD, oh, I don't know, DFS. What else have we got? DHL. Well, they all start with D's, but the SES and or CEX, which always that one always made me laugh. CEX, and for the international listeners, it's like they like a pawn shop almost for electrical goods. Um, But it's just basically says sex. And also, sorry, I'm just going a massive tangent right now, but I went into the CEX a few years back because my dad wanted to look at some game, and there was like adult films at eye level for a 10-year-old. I was like, this is a bit much. Yeah, put them up high. That's where they go. But anyway, digressing. Okay, how many letters is too many for an abbreviation?
Any type,
Just any.
if you have to explain to me, don't do it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Where do you stand on just shortening words?
even worse.
I love. No, no,
Yeah.
even worse.
Why? Why are we shortening words? It's just like the guy that created the dictionary created a lot of words, just use different words. You want to explain stuff, just
See, that's an interesting point. Is it? So, okay, there's a certain amount of maybe laziness or type. I don't sure, but I don't know. I mean, I don't, especially how quickly people can text message and things when they want to, especially while talking. It doesn't take long at all. But maybe it's just because there are other words meaning the same thing. If
yeah.
a thesaurus exists, maybe people just need to learn more words again because there is the vocabulary of people. I mean, my vocabulary is terrible, but it's shrinking. Yeah, kind of generation by generation, the amount of different words people use, it's all the same. It's all kind of, I don't know, without getting too weird and political, but it's kind of quite, yeah, it's all corporate slogans and everyone talks in
Yeah,
memes and
because I think like people forget that there is like books and information and all of that sort of stuff they based upon just like media and also we are on media, that's great, but and there is great media out there, not saying otherwise, but it's just like the fact that there is so much books, so much authors that you can read and develop your cultural knowledge as well,
yeah,
language. It's just like you just throw it away so easily. And I always have this debate with people, and this is a bit off topic as well. It's just like if it was back in the days, like the 18th century, 17th century, I understand like culture and learning was not for everybody, but like nowadays, how? It's like most of the stuff is free, even the internet. Just go read something, go read an article, find a book that you're interested, buy it, or read on ebook or whatever, PDF.
yeah. I say everyone has access pretty much to the same information these days. Whether it's yeah, okay, maybe some schools are better than others. Some, yeah, I know. Obviously, culturally or economically, yeah, there are differences, but most people have access to the internet, whether it's through a smartphone or internet at home or free Wi-Fi at McDonald's. There's information is available out there, and I personally, I'm kind of just thinking of this now, so I'm kind of spitballing as we go, but yeah, we live in a world now of slogans, whether it's branding and whether it's film quotes, whether it's I mean uh, politics now.
Mm.
It's all stop the steal, stay home, stay safe. Yeah, well, everywhere you look, there's just these short, snappy slogans
Mm.
explaining a large issue or or giving more information. And so people are just condensing what they say. But with link back to abbreviations, that generally does cause more questions because not everyone understands what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah, but also like if you are, and you mentioned a good point, so like if you're talking about marketing, I think that's the only place it's acceptable to use some abbreviations or something if that's gonna catch attention, because you're not gonna write a full paragraph on a poster or something like that. That's the only time I would say it's acceptable to shorten stuff in a way that people understand. But apart from that, just know the difference. Like know the difference between a poster, advertisement, and like
But
the culture, like
are we
speaking with someone.
all marketing ourselves now, Stea? Like, you're a comedian, I'm a podcaster, there's as said politicians and actors, everyone
Yeah, but
or
I wouldn't
majority of
say.
people are promoting themselves or something else.
Yeah, but not on messages. I don't think I'm promoting anyone on messages. I'm just talking to someone. So, um,
Yeah.
just send the paragraph. I will read it.
One that annoys me, never mind.
Mm,
NVM. Why? NVM. I use social media. Sorry, I've kind of jumped, but use social media. Obviously, everyone does. If you want to do anything in this world, you kind of have to be on some form of social media. And so there's two big problems I got. One is I have to spend a lot of time Googling because I'm apparently old AF. See what I did there? Um, I have to Google things, and like I remember when everyone started doing that in case you missed it. I
mm,
see why am I? I was like, I don't know what that is. And then it's AF, and then it's but then also people started just writing in really broken English.
mm,
And at first I was like, oh, that's fine, because not everyone speaks English or speaks English well. And I thought, oh no, this is on purpose. Like this is how someone communicates because other people got it, and I'm reading it like it's a completely. I mean, I'm really ignorant when it comes to other language. I can't speak any other language apart from English, bad English, and worse English,
yeah, fair.
and a very little bit of French. But I read it, and I was thinking people understand what's being said here, and I have no clue. So I'm going through the comments, thinking, yeah, waiting
Mm.
for someone to translate it, and it does my head in. I shouldn't care, but I do.
I don't know. I feel that like my circle, at least I have something good in that side. Like my circle of friends and everything, or they are used to me and they're like, yeah, let's just go according to its standards. I don't have that anymore, so that's nice. Because you're mentioning that, I'm like, it's been a long time that someone like abbreviated something and then like didn't explain something if they abbreviate because they're like, oh, I forgot who I'm talking to. So let's just write. I'm like, yeah,
I like
save
the
yourself.
boundaries you've set out. If we're going to be friends, you need to write properly because I'm not going to be deciphering.
And also, if like I said to some friends of mine, if like if you're gonna send me audios, that's another thing that I hate is like if you're gonna send me an audio, just let's do a call. I don't want to listen to you almost podcasting a podcast. I don't care. Let's do a call. We both talk. That's nice. I don't care about listening to you like, oh, my life is just like, or
Yeah.
write it or just call me.
Or that 100% agree. The voice note or voice text or voice, whatever, I don't know what even it's called, but you're just having a message with someone, or even it's like, oh, do you know what? When you think of someone and you're like, oh, I wonder how they are. It's been a while since I've caught up with them, and something kind of reminds you, and you're like, oh, hi, mate. How you been? Like, just checking in. And then all of a sudden you get this ping, and there's a 30-second audio clip. And you're like, I don't want to listen to that. Why? Why?
like in that like that I have a few friends that send me that, but is when they are like very busy and they're like, oh, I'm in the road, I'm driving or something, and this is easy
Wait
to
then.
just I don't know, certain stuff is like, especially I had a few like people that kind of mentor me in like comedy and help me with
Yeah,
certain stuff budget wise, and they're like, I'm just gonna message you via audio because you're asking me this and I feel this is important. But
right.
again, that sort of stuff I
I
understand. The
get I
rest is
get
just
that.
like,
Yeah, I totally agree with that. If someone is taking the time to, because I'm someone who I can convey better what I mean in speech. Yeah, I'm quite I know the way I talk is generally quite up and down and
Yeah.
expressionary. So doing it face to face or on audio probably conveys better than just in a message. That's fine. If you say, Geoff, what do you think about this? It's quite, yeah, it's pretty important, or it comes across as
Yeah.
important. I'll be like, okay, do you want to call? I haven't got any time. Right, okay, I will
Yeah.
do a voice. Yeah, I'm happy to do that.
Yeah.
But hi mate, how are you? Tick 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 tick. Voice message. Oh well, yeah, it's great. I'll walk the dog.
Oh no,
And
no.
oh, sorry.
That's yeah, that's no. That's a no for me. This is like I wouldn't be the one in the like the X Factor turning the chair around. It's just like no, just move away.
Just move. No, jog on, jog on. Oh, dearie me. Right. I mean, the thing is, this it right. So yeah, we've almost 40 minutes we've been moaning about this now. And we've covered a spectrum. We've gone from abbreviations, emojis, voice notes. Oh my goodness, just about everything. But how do we make it better? What needs to
Uh,
happen?
the hard solution is just streaming those people that do that, but that's not acceptable nowadays. So Hitler made sure that you can't do that anymore.
I
So
love the way you're
yeah,
like, oh, Hitler ruined it for everyone. That's not something that's ever been said on this podcast, I'll tell
opening boundaries.
you.
I don't know. Putin is
Oh.
also creating a good reputation on that end, so I don't want to compete. But yeah, I don't know. It's just I just try to not have those people in my life.
Just strip the okay, but on this podcast we don't. It's generally not allowed to just say get rid. So I mean,
Yeah,
well, no,
also this is a joke. I'm not
no.
condoning like, but just to make sure that some people, some viewers, you might never know, like, oh, is this a joke? Yes, it's a joke. I'm a
It's a
comedian.
joke.
So just don't get bothered with me. Just go have protest about other stuff like in the real world. Don't protest about me. Like there is so
That's
much more stuff ruining the world, not me saying, "Oh, just
yeah. If
move on."
everyone that's listening to this could not protest Steer, that would be really great for probably both of our careers actually. Um, but do you know what I think the tech companies need to have more responsibility to this. They need to wipe out this whole as soon as you type a word, it pops up with emoji. If someone
Mm.
puts NVM, it auto corrects it to never mind.
I enjoy that.
If
I enjoy
people
that.
want to
Yeah,
type shorter, a shorthand, because we
yeah,
used to have shorthand. Secretaries back in the day had shorthand, and then they take the notes in shorthand, and then they would type up in longhand. It's not a new concept. If I want to type uh, NVM IGAF to BMW, I don't know. Then my phone would just be like, "Oh, you meant I don't give a flip.
yeah. That
Um, whatever
sort of.
BMW stands for these days.
Yeah, sort of like a translation app, but for that purpose. That yeah, I kind of enjoy
Yeah,
that idea. Yeah,
but people aren't wasting their time because obviously that means so much to them. But the vocabulary is going the right way. It's a
yeah.
simple autocorrect.
And also, I feel that like if that happens, like people would learn new words, so that would be also a way for them to improve their vocabulary.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, and what if not only did it take the abbreviation, spell it out long words, but then gives oh, you've said this, but how's about this?
Yeah,
And instead of saying never mind, it gives a couple of options from a thesaurus to say, if you want to sound really brainy, you could use this.
yeah,
Because I love doing that. If I want to sound smart, because I'm not a smart person, then I'll thesaurus the crap out of it. I'm quite happy to
yeah.
do that. I'll throw a word in there. And do you
I
know what?
feel
It may not be exact, but I sound brainy.
Yeah, I just feel that like now the thing that you said just felt like everything that like my friend said to me is just like just lower the language down, like stop being smart. Because if not, I don't understand it. I'm like, people.
That's
Anyway,
it. Well, that's it. You stop. Okay, if they've got to stop abbreviating everything, then you can tone it down a little bit.
yeah, it's a nice exercise, but
Oh, Stea. No, I like that. I think the tech companies
yeah, if
could solve
anyone
it.
wants to take that and create an app or something, yeah, I feel that's like just take it, just run with the idea, just make something useful for everyone.
Exactly. And do you know what? I mean, this podcast, a lot of ideas that come out of it are generally technology based or app based. If I actually knew how to do any of this, I would make a fortune, I reckon.
I know, I just don't care. That's that's
Just don't care
uh,
enough.
yeah. I know.
One of the episodes I did, we had so and they were talking about relationship conflict, as in with friends and acquaintances, and it was basically coming at so if you get upset with someone
Mm,
and they may not necessarily know that you're upset, that kind of I know
mhm.
friendship or acquaintance circle, someone does something, it annoys you. There's an app which sets a timer, and by a
Mm.
specific date, it will automatically call this person, and you
Oh,
have to make the decision there and then to either say, right, this happened, I'm upset about it, let's talk about it, or you just talk nicely, and you have to then get over it. And if I knew how to create that, I reckon that would be an absolute money spinner. Either that, or it would end up being an episode of Black Mirror, one of the two. But
fair.
hey.
I know how to code stuff. I know. I just don't like the whole thing. Like it goes back to like my degree. I know how to do several stuff in technology. I just hate with every gut of my body. So I think I hate more like my degree and technology at certain extent, like when you go deep in technology, than like abbreviation. So you know how bad that is already. So
I love that. Got a degree, hate it.
yep.
But you can do it. You've always got something to fall back on.
Yeah.
Right.
I
Steer, this has been a lot of fun once again. And I'm so glad that you came back on. And do you know what it was? It was I was so I guessed it and had guessed it, and actually, yeah, this will the No Streetlights
hmm, yeah.
podcast, which you were on. Everyone needs to check out the No Streetlights podcast. They also need to check out your episode on there, because it's a fantastic conversation. And I was like,
They did a great job. They are really good at what
they're
they do.
very, very good guys. And I said I've been on with them, they've been on with me. But I thought, it's been time. It's been a couple of years since we've had you on. Your journey has moved forwards massively. You're making those big brave steps. You're doing fantastically, and I'm so glad that you came back on. And even though you hate technology, we've solved a thing with technology.
True.
Sia, give us another roundup of where we can find you, and what plans you've got coming up for the future.
Just trying to perform as much as I can. I have also like starting. I don't know how that will go by the time that the podcast goes out, but trying to have my own nights in Croydon.
Wow,
So just
that's
trying to
big.
have something like Croydon. There is a lot of place to make something here. It's near London. It has like the advantage of being sort of London and not sort of London.
Yeah,
So it grabs all of the spectrums of comedians and people interested. So I thought let's try to make something out of it. Like venues are interested as well on putting something together. So I'm just working on that. Hopefully I have more as soon as I have material that is like solid and prepare another specials coming out. There is two already on my YouTube channel. As I said before, Stea
Steel
Production.
Productions. Yeah,
Yeah. It's my YouTube channel is more dedicated. It has a lot of comedy like clips, the specials, but it's more vlogs, sort
yeah.
of. That's what I enjoy
I've
doing apart
seen.
from
But that's why your travels of Portugal and things like that. No, it's
and also
very
I Also, I feel that's like is a nice way to showcase like the behind the scenes of a comedian, like because they always have the idea that is just like, oh, going here and perform and doing the stuff. It is like there is so much more, and I want to
Yeah.
show like the beauty of places. I we always like comedians, especially like we always travel to so different places, and it's like, oh, this town is so nice. I want to record something. I want to show this town to other people to see because even in London, like there is so many places that like
Yeah.
most tourists just know like, oh, the Big Bang and the London Eye, and this is like there is so much more than
There's
that.
so much more.
So
Oh, well, it's fantastic. You're doing a service that everyone needs to check out Stea Productions. And so to find you in, you get that night sap in Croydon. Go find Stea. Very, very
also,
funny guy.
also like if you have when this podcast comes out, maybe will be near that time. I will be performing in Portsmouth like December. I'll get
Hey,
back. So if people want to check out, I will announce on my Instagram, on like the YouTube community posts, all of that stuff. So just check it out. Come. The event, I think the one that I'm doing is it's just an open mic, it's just testing material. So it's free entry. Just come, just enjoy, have a laugh. So yeah, just support live comedy.
fantastic. Yes, support live comedy. Yes, because there's so much great up and coming talent, young, old. It's not just a niche crowd anymore. There's so many different people, and as we said right at the beginning of this, you go back to Portugal and show them something different. There's that happening everywhere. There's some, a lot of people say, "Oh, you can't say what you want anymore," blah blah blah. But no, that's rubbish. People can. It's just about how well it's
Yeah.
crafted. It's an art form, and I fully support what you're doing, and the other comedians, all the good ones, or at least nice ones that aren't just out there for shock value because they've got nothing going on. Anyway, not going to get into the politics of comedy, but still, it's been amazing to speak to you again. Thank you so much for coming back on. Find me. So all the links will be in the body of the podcast. I've got Big Words Media on YouTube and at Better with Geoff across Instagram, X, and Geoff Jones and Friends Make a Bed on Facebook. And there's probably other things as well, which I don't know. But if you Google, then you'll find me. But all there is for me to say now is thank you so much for listening. Stea, it's been amazing again. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much. And it's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from Stea. Say goodbye, Stea.
Thank you as well for having me, and I hope the listeners once more enjoyed the conversation. I had a pleasure. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye, everybody.